Good morning. Good morning. It's Sunday. I've got the heating on. It's cold. It's about 13 degrees in the house. I'm not sure what time it is. I think it's probably about, I don't know, about 10:15 in the morning. Alexa, what's the time?
It's 10:27 a.m.
Oh, it's a bit later, 10:27. So, yeah, Sunday morning. Always fairly busy to start with, but I'm trying to take it at a slow pace today, just to, ease myself into the day. Uh, what have I done so far? Put a wash on, hung it out, bedding. It's a bedding day today. I've just put the heating back on, and I've also put the hot water back on because Paul had a bath first thing, and I would like to have a bath, and I desperately need to wash this barnet. I really do. So let me just think about last night. So Paul had the bonfire social, which went really well. I had dinner alone. I had a curry, which Paul had defrosted for me from the freezer. So I enjoyed that, although it made me a little bit windy, I have to say. Yeah, it was a little bit of a windy night. Anyway, let's not elaborate on that. Thank you very much. People, go away. Yes, so I spent the evening on my own until about 9 o'clock when Paul got back in. And I had a pleasant evening. I put the TV on and there was a series of programmes on Dolly Parton. Now, I'm not a mega fan of Dolly's, but I do like Dolly Parton. I loved 9 to 5. I loved the movie. I loved the song. I loved Jolene. I think that's a genius song. I Will Always Love You. Well, it kind of makes me feel emotional when I hear the original song by Dolly Parton. I'm not a fan of the Whitney Houston one. I'm not really into Whitney. But I love the Dolly Parton version. It is emotional, and you can see how it's been used for so many different occasions and how it can, bring up those feelings when you listen to it. And indeed, many of the Dolly songs do that. I think country music does that. So there was a couple of interesting programs on Dolly, and I was watching those when Paul got back in. And it kind of set me thinking about country music, or country and western, I think, as the genre is known, which of course encompasses other genres like bluegrass, and various other things that I can't name at this moment in time. But it set off this sort of thought process about its origins. So I was sort of having a little Google this morning. And obviously it's to do, the tradition is to do with originally folk music, that would have originally come over from Britain, especially Scotland and Ireland, which would have migrated over to the States. And then, of course, you've got different influences from different immigrant groups to the States. And it's sort of all blended together to make different genres of country music. And of course, it's deceptively simple, which is what I like. The stories that are told are stories of people, of heartbreak, of breakups, of death, all the things that we experience. And rather than the lyrics being metaphorical, they're very direct, you know. And of course, Dolly's songs, some of them have a habit of taking you by surprise. And there are a couple of songs that I'd never heard of. One of them, The Bridge. My goodness me. That's a stab in the heart. It really is. And that's what these songs do. They sort of rip your heart out, throw it on the ground, and stamp on it until you're in shreds, you know? And I found myself choking up a couple of times watching this program and listening to the songs and the lyrics. And yeah, just really, really interesting. And then that set me thinking about whether we sort of have the equivalent in the UK, English country music. And of course, that is the sort of traditional songs and the folk songs. That's where the roots lie. So just a totally fascinating subject. My dad kind of quite liked country and western. And we grew up listening to people like John Denver, Glenn Campbell. I like Glenn Campbell, and Paul actually worked with Glenn Campbell a good few years ago now. So yeah, just a really interesting genre of music. I know quite a few singers, club singers, northern working men's club singers who were really into American country music. But somehow, when English people sing it, doesn't seem to have that authenticity. And that's the thing I really like about the Dolly Parton story, you know, her authenticity, her roots, which were very much based in, you know, with country music. So yeah, just fascinating. I thought I'd share that with you. So what's the weather like today? It's dull, grey and damp. It's raining at the moment, and Paul has had to go down to the plot to do a bit of a tidy up from last night and make sure things are put away. So yeah, I think we were both sort of hoping for a bit of a quieter day today. I think that will be so. There's not a huge amount of work to do. Obviously, I'm going to be spending time replying to many of your comments. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Yeah, and doing a few bits and pieces. And also we have the read-along to film. So I think we should be able to fit that in later on at some point this afternoon. It's not going to be a terribly complex video to do, but we need to get our brains in gear for it and engage ourselves in it. I'm quite looking forward to it. So, bye for now. It's Sunday evening. I am at the top of the house. So, I reported on Bonfire Night the other night. Well, tonight is Diwali, which is distinctly different. We open the window. And you can hear the amount of fireworks going off. And this will go on for hours and hours. There'll just be the constant sound of fireworks till probably 1 o'clock in the morning. It's in full swing now. The whole skyline is lit up. So fog has come in, which means I can't see any of the fireworks now, but I can hear them. I mean, it's a barrage. If you listen, let me open the window. I can hear them now. Listen to them now. Good morning. It's Monday. Look how dark it is. It's so grim. Grim, grim, grim. Oh, that's not very flattering. I better put a light on, hadn't I? Alexa, front room on. Oh, that's better. Oh dear, my hair's a mess this morning. I'm going to tease that into shape. So yeah, Monday morning, again, we have arrived. And yeah, it's wet, windy, and generally horrid. Typical British winter weather. Yeah, especially for a Monday morning. Well, I'm hoping this week that I'll be able to negotiate some extra time off to do stuff. Feels like it's been a busy weekend again, but hey, that's great. Thank you for all your comments on the videos, both the daily vlogs and Sunday chat. Thank you. So apparently we've got Storm Debbie, but we're not going to feel the effects that much. It's funny how they give them these names, isn't it? Storm Debbie, all right, Debs. What are you up to this morning? Well, I'm just throwing a few trampolines around some gardens, flooding a few homes. I mean, why don't they give them, sort of doom-laden names like Storm Apocalyptica? Something like that. Because people in Britain don't really care. They go, oh, a storm. Oh, well. Ken, did I leave my Crocs in the garden? Really? People are very apathetic. And you see these videos of people being rescued from their homes that have flooded. And they're waving at the cameras. Oh, no, there's the news, Barbara. Yeah, I can't think of anything worse, frankly. I don't think I'd be smiling at the camera. I'd be weeping. So, yeah. Diwali was last night, as you saw. That was crazy. And the bizarre thing was, as you saw on the video, that fog came in and you couldn't see any of the fireworks. I mean, I don't mind people's celebrations, and I have nothing against religious celebrations at all. I think it's great that there's such commitment. But sometimes I question the motives. If people really believe that it's about the triumph of good over evil, I mean, these celebrations haven't really worked, have they? Not really. It's not being terribly effective at driving away the evil from the world. No. And I do also wonder about the amount of money that must have been spent last night on fireworks, because they were going on well into 11 o'clock. We went to bed about 10:30, and it was still a barrage. I have no idea what time they tied up. But it's such a huge community that does it, that does the setting off of fireworks. And yeah, it did sound like frankly, a war zone. We're used to it now. And the first time we saw it, I was kind of like, wow, this is incredible. But as the years go on, one wonders why. I know about traditions and all of that, but it's such a, I don't know, the letting off of fireworks and the polluting of the atmosphere is such an outdated thing now, really. Plus the noise for people, for animals. Yeah, crazy, just ridiculous. But what can you do? It's a tradition, it's a huge community. Anyway, I suppose I better drink my second cup of tea and, yeah, get dressed and get on with the day. Get down to that office. Yeah. See you later. It's Monday evening. Welcome. Welcome back. So today has been cool and windy, but it feels a little bit milder this evening. And yeah, it's surprising, actually, the amount of wind we've had. Thank you very much, Storm Debbie. Yeah, it's been really blowing around. We had a couple of showers, sharp showers, and I think there was quite a decent amount of rain overnight, actually, because when I got into the car park this morning at work, there was a sort of flooded area, so I'm not sure when that happened. But yeah, it's been a strange day at work, actually, because this morning was pretty dead. Hardly anybody in, hardly any phone calls, hardly any work to do. It was really bizarre for a Monday. I mean, frankly, that's how I like it on a Monday morning. I like things to flow. I've said that before. But this afternoon picked up a little bit, which was good because there's nothing worse than being bored at work with hardly anything to do and you're sort of scrabbling about to find things to fill your time. But that rarely happens. Although, I have to say, when we do get into winter around Christmas time, it does get very quiet because the simple fact is people are thinking about other things. They are preoccupied with other stuff. And, you know, very often care homes and residential homes are prettying up the surroundings for the clients, you know, making things festive, and that kind of distracts people. And people are generally sort of a bit more settled, a little happier perhaps, I don't know. Yeah. What else have I got to report? I don't think there's much else going on. I've just done a few chores, so I'm actually feeling quite warm at the moment. Just put a few bits and pieces of washing away, folding stuff up, sticking it in drawers. Yeah, that's it really. Not a lot to report. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's mild. It's feeling remarkably warm this morning, even though I've got a scarf on. It's, yeah, quite sunny out there. The sun is just coming out. I've just had my tea, caught up with a few things on social media, watched Vivi's latest, and yeah, I'm just about to have breakfast. So let's think. Yeah, we've got a weather warning in place this morning for thunderstorm warning. I can see how that might happen with the temperature of the air being quite mild. I guess it's going to meet cold air if indeed a thunderstorm is going to happen, because very often they say it is and it just doesn't happen. So last night Paul went out for a meeting down at the local pub and I stayed in and watched some trash TV. I rarely watch these kind of programs, but when I do, I quite enjoy them. And the programs that I'm talking about are these reality motorway programs, you know, motorway bitches from hell. Not really. I think it's just called Motorway. And it's all about teams of people that manage our motorway systems. And, having been a motorway user for a long time, and I've driven quite a number of our motorways in the UK, especially the M40, the M6, the M42, the M3, M4, occasionally the M1, although I don't like the M1. The M40 is my favourite. So I'm sort of familiar with, how it goes on a motorway, how to drive on a motorway, how to stay safe. And it's fascinating to see how these roads are managed in terms of the camera systems that they've got and the dispatchers that are sat there, giving the instructions to the people out on the road on what to do and where to go and what's happened. And so it's fascinating. So anyway, I watched that. And then I watched a program on Shakespeare, which was also fascinating as well. I don't know whether it's a one-off program or a series, but I'll have to check it out. I sort of fell into it, I was channel hopping. So yeah, last night was quite pleasant. Paul got in around 9:30, I think. And then I promptly fell asleep. Yeah. I woke up very early this morning. I woke up about 4 o'clock. I can't speak. I'm not awake yet. 4 o'clock, I heard the bong bongs from the clock down here. Counted them, as you sort of do. 4 o'clock, but I did go back to sleep. I went to the loo and went back to sleep. Not at the same time. My brain's not fully engaged yet. So yeah, I managed to negotiate Wednesday afternoon off and Friday. Not sure my boss was too happy about it, but I said to her, well, I've got stuff to do. Sorry, it's a busy time for me outside of work as well. So I've got shit to do. Tough. I didn't say that. I was, nice about it, of course. But, like I've said before, I'm contracted part-time and, I have a life outside of work. Anywho, so yeah, Tuesday morning, I need to get some breakfast inside me, another cup of tea, and start my day. I'm hoping we don't have thunderstorms and squally showers, because I'd like to, have a dry walk to work. I know it's only a 6-minute walk, but you can get very wet in 6 minutes. Yeah. So anywho, I better get on. Good morning, it's Wednesday morning. Pardon me. Still waking up. So it's a cool morning today. Clear skies. Much cooler than it was yesterday. But the good news is that I'm only working a half day today. I've managed to negotiate half day today and Friday off. So I'm going in tomorrow. But I'm finishing at 12:30 today. Lovely. It means I can get a few jobs done. Plus, it means that I can do a little bit of work on the read-along, which we filmed, but I'll be releasing that hopefully this evening. So that's good. So nothing much to report this morning. I'm going to have my second cup of tea shortly and some breakfast, get myself sorted and get myself to work for a lovely short morning. Yeah, not short morning, lovely short day. Yeah, short working day. Super duper. I'm pleased. Yeah, just that little bit of extra time makes a big difference to me. So I shall catch up with you later today. Bye for now. Good afternoon. Welcome. It's Wednesday afternoon and I'm at home. I chose not to work this afternoon, thank goodness, because this morning was absolutely crazy busy. Absolutely crazy. phone call after phone call after phone call. If I showed you my mobile phone, it would be like phone call at 9:30, 9:35, 9:40, 9:42, blah, blah, blah. Constant, which is fine. I can cope with that. But it's when other things are thrown into the mix at the same time. So, for example, I'm in the middle of writing up several phone calls, and then this guy appears at the door. So I let him in. I said, how may I help you? He said, oh, I'm here to inspect the building for crumbly concrete. I said, oh. I said, nobody told me that you were coming. Who did you arrange it with? Because it could be somebody in the next door building that's expecting you. Oh, I don't know, but I'm here to inspect the crumbly concrete. I said, all right, crumbly. I said, you can hold on a minute. Just take a seat. I'm just dealing with something I've got to finish. So anyway, I sent him next door because they sort of manage those kind of things next door in the respite unit. So he went next door, and of course, eventually he made his way back and said, I've got to check your side of the building for crumbly concrete. I said, great. Welcome, Crumbly. Mr. Crumbly Concrete. Anyway, so he did his bit. But then, in the midst of all of this going on, the electricity went, and the internet, and my phones. All just went. And I could hear that there was work happening next door. And I phoned them. I said, what? Somebody has just switched something off. And they said, no, they haven't. I said, yes, they have. Somebody's done something and it's not me. Oh, I thought, roll on 12:30. So yeah, so I'm here. I've had a little bit of a rest because actually I remembered I woke up very, very early this morning. I don't know what time it was, but it was early. So I'm feeling a bit knackered, but I've just got a wash on, put my jumpers on a refresh, and then I'm just building up to do some computer work for the read-along video, which will be out tonight. I was going to put it out last night, but I didn't have a chance to finish a couple of things. So that's going to go out for, I think, about 6 o'clock this evening. So that should be fun. I've got a couple of other things I want to do, but then it's chill out. I think we're going to have a fire this evening because it's actually feeling rather chilly this afternoon. It's breezy. It's fairly clear. There's a little bit of cloud. Oh, and the other marvellous thing that Paul told me, yesterday, our neighbour, our friend, the one who cuts my hair, we'd said to her, the next time you see your roofing person, send them over to us because, I can't speak, because we need a cowl for the chimney, a rain cowl. So they actually went over to see her yesterday and she remembered to send them over to us. The guy came over. Paul said, we need a cowl fixing. He said, give me 2 minutes. Sorted. We've got a rain cowl fitted on the top of the chimney. So no more rain coming down the chimney on a very wet day. See, I can't speak today. I don't know why. Oh, I'm so glad I'm at home. So glad. But I'm in work tomorrow. But off on Friday. Hurrah. Blessings. So yeah, better get on with the things I need to do. Might see you later, might not. It's up to me. So take care, Toodle Pip. The good thing about being at home in the afternoon at this time of year is I can catch the sunset, because at work I miss it. Yeah. Just checking on my washing machine. It was asking for a drum clean. This is a 70-degree drum clean, and it asks for it, and it kind of demands it. I know. Anyway, let me swing you around, show you the garden. It's starting to look very golden now, and there is particularly beautiful golden light coming in from the setting sun. But it's just taking on that sort of golden glow now. Lovely. So I'm also going to run upstairs because I want to show you the rain cowl. I've got a couple of things I need to do on the computer anyway, so may as well take you along. Let's run upstairs. Oh. I do this several times a day. Must have an effect on my fitness because I'm not even out of breath, as you'll notice. Can't quite see the sunset colours. It's sort of starting. I'm hoping it's going to be a nice one. But look, sorry about the dirty windows. That's all outside. See that thing on top of the first chimney pot? That's our cowl. Yeah, I'm delighted with it. I'm really pleased. Let's have a quick look out here. It's looking quite golden out here now. Yeah. Autumn's well and truly here and in full swing. Yeah. There's my jumpers with my fan on. So they should dry fairly quickly, I would have thought. Beautiful. It's looking gorgeous out there, actually. Really gorgeous. The clouds are taking on a sort of slightly orange pinky glow. I'm hoping it's going to be a beautiful sunset. If it is, I will take advantage of it. As you know, I love a sunset and a sunrise. Although sunrises haven't been great recently. They've been rather bland. So, computer work now. And waiting for the sunset colours to come. I'm hoping they do. Be rather nice, because there's plenty of cloud. That's the thing about a good sunset. You need clouds, really, to capture the colours, to catch the colours. Yeah, anyway, let me get on. It's the evening now, Wednesday evening. I've just lit a fire. There we are. Paul's going to have a bath. We've just had a little bit of drama as well. Our friend, our neighbour, came over and she'd accidentally cut the wires in her garden to her internet. So she came over to use our internet to contact Virgin to let them know what she hadn't really done, if you get my drift. So, yeah, that was fun. So we're settling down now. Well, I'm settling down now. Letting this fire get going and, yeah, relax for the evening. So I'll see you tomorrow for more fun and frolics. Hopefully no wire cutting. No. Bye for now. Good morning. It's Thursday morning. Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. I better get a move on, have my breakfast. I've had 2 cups of tea. Woke up at about, I think it was 4, just after 4. Couldn't get back to sleep. Eventually got up around 6. I don't know what's happening at the moment. I'm waking up early. That normally happens around the change in season, but For some reason, it's happening to me now. Whatever. So today, Paul's just left to go to Vanessa's. So he's driving down to Cranley in Surrey. So he'll be back probably around 7 this evening. I wanted to say thank you to all of you who've watched the read along, episode 1. I'm absolutely delighted with the response. Lots of comments. It seems that many of you are very interested in joining in, which is absolutely great. So I'm really, really pleased about that. So thank you, bloody thank you. Yeah, it was a cold night last night. A little bit of condensation on the windows. And I had the fire on, as you saw, which I was really pleased about because, yeah, it was chilly. It was chilly. And it's going to be a chilly day today. I think it's going to hover around 6 or 7 all day. And I'm very, very happy I'm not working tomorrow. Very happy that I've organised that. So, yeah. So I guess tomorrow will be a chores day. I guess we might try and film Sunday Chat tomorrow because we used to like doing it on a Friday because it gave us a little bit of space during the weekend. We'll see. We'll see. So that's it for now. I better get my breakfast and get a skedaddle on, as they say. Yeah, there we go. See you later. Good evening. It's Thursday evening, and I'm luxuriating in my lounge in front of a roaring fire. I know, another fire. I'm terrible. You're terrible, Muriel. Anyway, stop. It's been a busy day. I'm knackered, actually. We've had a lot going on at work, a lot of phone calls, a lot of documents to deal with, safeguarding alerts left, right and centre. I won't go into that. But yeah, I'm very glad that I'm off tomorrow and I can enjoy a little bit of a different pace. It'll still be work because that's what we do, work. Because we love it. Yes, we love it. Anyway, Paul is out. He's driving home from Cranley in Surrey because he's been with Vanessa today. So he's driving home. I'm monitoring his progress on Google. He knows I'm doing it. We do it to each other. Yeah. It's quite easy to do. And it's very, very handy because you can time your pasta right. Yeah. I know when he's going to be coming up the road and I can put the pasta on and get dinner ready and serve it to him as he walks through the door. Not really. So yeah, that's it. There'll be more from me tomorrow. So have a good evening. Relax. I'm going to. Goodbye. Good morning. It's Friday. Finally. We've reached the weekend, or the beginning of the weekend at least. It's a beautiful morning. It's sunny. The temperature outside is around 17 degrees. The temperature inside is around 14 degrees. My nose is running, as it does all the time. So, what am I up to today? Well, this morning has been a bit of a slow start. I slept in till about 8. Lovely. I wasn't sleeping, I was just dozing. And then I wanted to do some reading because, as you know by now, I am reading The Owl Service by Alan Garner for our read-along. If you've not seen the read-along video, check it out. But I'm also doing some research as well into the Mabinogion, which is a collection of folklore, legends, stories, mainly from Wales, which links in with the owl service. I'm not going to say any more about that because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. We'll talk more in depth on the live show, the read along live show, in approximately a month's time. But I want to do some research because I'm interested in folklore and myths and legends of Britain. And I think it helps to bring to life the story of the owl service. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say any more. I could talk more, but I'm not going to. So what am I up to today? Well, it's a chores day. I've started this morning by stripping the covers from this sofa. I'm giving them a wash, just the seat covers, because it's time. I didn't do them this summer, but they, you know, when the fibres in on a seat cover are all flattened and it's looking a little bit flimsy, shall we say, it's time for a wash to tighten them up and to fluff up the fibres and get rid of any residue that might be on there, like Marmite that Paul spilt. Naughty Paul. Also today, I want to do a bit of tidying and cleaning in the attic room because I noticed when the sun was shining, the dust is evident. I don't tend to clean that room that often because it actually doesn't get that dusty. But obviously over time it does, so it is time. And it's also time to do some tidying up there. There's stuff out on my desk that doesn't need to be there. It's looking a little bit crowded. So I'm going to put a few things away, do a good tidy, good vacuum up there. Well, I do vacuum up there quite regularly, actually. But yeah, just a good tidy. That's it. Do some housework. I think we'll probably have another fire this evening because I think it's going to be cool this evening. But I noticed the embers were still slightly warm, so I have to let it cool down before I clean it out, obviously. So yeah, I think that's it. I might catch you later. Bye for now. Good morning. It's Saturday morning. It might be the weekend, but there's no rest for the wicked. No. So this morning's weather is really grim. It's wet, but it's not cold. It's very mild. It's around 15 degrees. So that's good. So this morning, what have I done? It's been a busy morning so far. I'm not sure what time I got out of bed, but Paul got up first and made tea. We've had toast. I've put clothes away, stripped the bed, changed the bedding, put that on for a wash, taken that out, put it upstairs, washed my hair. I've got conditioner on at the moment. It's a caffeine conditioner. Apparently it stimulates growth. I'll be the judge of that. And I noticed when I was washing my hair that the water was not particularly hot. I thought, oh God, here we go. So I said to Paul, the water's not particularly hot. Has it been on? And he said, well, we seem to have used more gas this morning than we normally do. I thought, oh, great. Is there going to be a problem? So I went upstairs to the cupboard in the bathroom, which houses the tank, because we have an old style system. It's called a Megaflow, and it has a hot water tank. And I noticed the pressure was really, really low. And I thought, I think that's the problem. Experience tells me that that is the issue. And I know how to rectify that. So I got my screwdriver, did a quarter turn on the valve and let the pressure rise to the point that it's supposed to be at. And hey presto, the water's coming through hot. Super. Problem solved without any intervention from any external agencies like British Gas. Not that there's anything wrong with British Gas, but they all charge far too much. So that problem solved. But the interesting thing is that whenever I do anything like that, I become terribly anxious. With the pressure thing, I think I'm not going to be able to turn it back, and it's going to keep on rising, and then it's just going to explode. I know, ridiculous. And my anxiety is such that actually I start to feel slightly shaky and my legs turn to jelly. I know, it's crazy. I've done it many times. Well, not that many times, maybe 3 or 4 times since I was shown by the engineer how to do it. But yeah, it makes me so anxious. I think something's going to go wrong, blah, 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 all the things. But I did it, it's working, and everything's fine. Nothing's blown up yet. I know, crazy, isn't it? Anyhow, I better get this conditioner washed off and get ready to film Sunday Chat. Yes, it's that time again. I know. Crazy how time flies. Anywho, I will see you for another new week of daily vlogs starting tomorrow. And yeah, this will be out by 6 o'clock, so I need to get working on it, editing. I've done most of the editing already. I just need to finish it off. And then I'll need to do Sunday Chat as well. And I'm also hoping that I'll get a couple of hours to plug the keyboard in and start making some new music, because I'm kind of itching to do that. We'll see. We'll see if I can fit it in. Don't get your hopes up about hearing new music, because it takes me such a long time to put something together. So, anywho, I'm going now. Take care. Have a good weekend. And I will see you for more daily vlogs next week. Bye for now.